She came from a tiny coastal town in South Carolina, where dreams are supposed to stay small. Population? Just 8,403 souls. The kind of place where folks know your name before you're born, and the biggest excitement might be a high school football game under Friday night lights. Georgetown, South Carolina, third oldest city in the state. A sleepy seaport town where ambition often gets swallowed by the salt marshes and live oaks. Nobody expected a global phenomenon to emerge from those quiet streets. But that's exactly what happened. And what unfolded at the Grand Slam track meet in Miami left the entire sprinting universe absolutely speechless. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden didn't just cross the finish line first. She obliterated every expectation, shattered every prediction, and left Olympic champions gasping for air in her wake. Her time? A scorching 10.75 seconds in the 100 meters. The crowd erupted. Commentators stumbled over their words. And the woman who just delivered one of the most devastating performances in recent memory? She was just getting warmed up. Here's what makes this story truly extraordinary. She beat everyone. And we mean everyone. Gabby Thomas, the reigning Olympic 200-meter gold medalist, ran the fastest 100 meters of her entire career that day. A blazing 10.97 seconds. Under normal circumstances, that time earns you a spot on the podium, maybe even a gold medal at certain meets. But in Miami, it wasn't even good enough for third place. Let that sink in for a moment. Thomas delivered a career-best performance and still finished fourth. That's not a race. That's a statement. That's a declaration of dominance. That's Melissa Jefferson-Wooden announcing to the world that a new era has officially begun. 5 athletes dipped under the 11-second barrier that evening. Tamari Davis scorched the track with a 10.79 to claim silver. Nigeria's phenomenal Favor Ofili clocked a remarkable 10.94 for bronze. These are world-class sprinters, the fastest women on the planet, and they look like they were running in quicksand compared to Jefferson-Wooden. I want to be one of the greatest to ever do this sport. Those were her words after the race. No hesitation, no false modesty. Just pure, unfiltered American confidence forged in the fire of sacrifice, struggle, and an unshakable belief that she belongs at the very top. And here's the thing. She's only 24 years old. This isn't someone at the twilight of a legendary career making one last push for glory. This is a young woman who's just beginning to scratch the surface of her potential. A small-town girl who once described herself as coming from the country, going to school in the woods. A daughter who literally gave part of herself, her own bone marrow, to save her father's life when she was just 17 years old. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden isn't just fast. She's built different. She's American grit personified. She carries the weight of her family's sacrifices, her community's hopes, and her nation's sprinting legacy on her shoulders. And somehow, she makes it look effortless. What happened in Miami wasn't just a race. It was the coronation of a queen. And if you blinked, you probably missed the moment everything changed forever. Welcome to the Melissa Jefferson-Wooden era. Buckle up, America. This ride is just getting started. When Melissa Jefferson-Wooden exploded from those starting blocks in Miami, it was like watching a force of nature unleashed. There was no hesitation, no building momentum, no waiting to see what the competition would do. From the first millisecond, she owned that race. She commanded it. She bent it to her will. The field she demolished wasn't some random collection of regional athletes hoping for a participation trophy. This was a murderer's row of sprinting talent. Olympic champions, world championship medalists, rising superstars with their own dreams of glory. Every single one of them came to Miami believing they had a legitimate shot at victory. Every single one of them was wrong. Watch the replay, and you'll notice something remarkable. While other sprinters were still finding their rhythm at the 30-meter mark, Jefferson-Wooden had already created separation. By 60 meters, the race was essentially over. The final 40 meters were merely a formality, a victory lap disguised as competition. This is what elite-level dominance looks like. This is what happens when talent meets preparation, meets an unbreakable will to succeed. And the timing couldn't be more perfect. Just weeks before Miami, Jefferson-Wooden had already announced her intentions at the Grand Slam Track Kingston event, sweeping both the 100 meters and 200 meters against top-tier competition. She collected $100,000 for that performance. Now, with another dominant showing in Miami, she was positioning herself for yet another six-figure payday in the 200 meters. But make no mistake, this isn't about money. This is about legacy. This is about carving your name into the granite of sprinting history alongside the immortals. What separates Jefferson-Wooden from so many other talented athletes is her unwavering mental fortitude. She doesn't shrink in big moments. She expands. The brighter the spotlight, the faster she runs. The higher the stakes, the more lethal she becomes. Consider her journey to this moment. In 2024, she stood on the Olympic podium in Paris with a bronze medal around her neck. Most athletes would have celebrated that achievement for years. Not Jefferson-Wooden. She looked at that bronze and used it as motivation. "That's all the motivation I need," she would later say about keeping those Olympic medals tucked away, out of sight. She didn't want comfort. She wanted hunger. She wanted that gnawing feeling in her gut that whispers, "You can do better. You can be more. You can reach the absolute pinnacle of this sport." That mentality is pure Americana. It's the same spirit that built this nation. The refusal to accept limitations. The audacity to dream bigger than your circumstances would suggest is possible. The willingness to sacrifice everything for a shot at greatness. Her collegiate career at Coastal Carolina University already hinted at this trajectory. She became the first individual NCAA national champion in school history when she captured the 60-meter indoor title in 2022. That same year, she won the U.S. Track and Field National Championship in the 100 meters, clocking an incredible 10.69 seconds. But what happened in Miami transcended personal records and prize money. It sent a message that echoed around the globe. The balance of power in women's sprinting has officially shifted. There's a new apex predator on the track, and she's wearing red, white, and blue. If you're loving this incredible story of American dominance and perseverance, smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss another moment when history is being made. Your support helps us bring you the most inspiring stories in sports. Drop a comment below and let us know. Did Melissa Jefferson-Wooden just establish herself as the most exciting sprinter on the planet? The woman behind the medals. Behind every extraordinary athlete lies an extraordinary human story. For Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, that story is written in sacrifice, love, and an unbreakable bond with family. In 2018, when she was just 17 years old, her father Melvin Jefferson received a devastating diagnosis: myelodysplastic syndrome, a serious condition where the bone marrow fails to produce enough healthy blood cells. Without treatment, it could progress to leukemia. The Jefferson family faced an impossible situation. Doctors determined that Melissa was the best match for a stem cell transplant. She didn't hesitate for a single heartbeat. "It's my dad. I'm going to do it because I want him around for a long time." Those words, spoken with the quiet determination of someone far beyond her years, captured everything you need to understand about Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. This wasn't a difficult decision for her. This was simply what family does. You show up. You sacrifice. You give whatever is needed without counting the cost. She donated her bone marrow. Her father survived. And 6 years later, Melvin Jefferson stood in the stands watching his daughter win Olympic medals in Paris. The same daughter, who had literally given part of herself to keep him alive, was now bringing glory to their family name on the world's biggest stage. "I felt blessed because I was there to witness it," Melvin would later say, his voice heavy with emotion. This is the foundation upon which Jefferson-Wooden has constructed her athletic empire. She doesn't run for fame. She doesn't run for fortune. She runs for something deeper, for the people who sacrificed everything to give her a chance, for the small town that rallied behind her, for the father whose survival taught her that miracles happen when you refuse to give up. When Georgetown, South Carolina proclaimed October 12th as Melissa Jefferson Day and threw her a parade after the Olympics, the entire community turned out. This wasn't celebrity worship. This was family celebrating family. A small town embracing its daughter who had conquered the world. "I'm a small-town girl from the country," she often reminds people. But here's what Georgetown taught her. Your origins don't define your destination. Your circumstances don't determine your ceiling. With enough heart, enough grit, and enough belief in yourself, a girl from a sleepy southern seaport can become the fastest woman on earth. That's not just Melissa's story. That's America's story. And she carries it with her every single time she steps into those starting blocks. The golden future. Fast forward to September 2025, and Melissa Jefferson-Wooden delivered on every promise she ever made to herself. At the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, she didn't just compete. She conquered. She devastated. She rewrote history in the most spectacular fashion imaginable. The 100 meters? Gold. With a championship record time of 10:61 seconds that made her the fourth fastest woman in the entire history of the event. The 200 meters? Gold. Clocking a phenomenal 21.68 seconds that cemented her status as a complete sprinter. The 4x 100-meter relay? Gold. Running the opening leg for a dominant American squad. 3 gold medals. The sprint triple crown. The first American woman ever to achieve this feat at a World Championships. Only one other woman in history has accomplished this. The legendary Jamaican icon Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce back in 2013. Think about that for a moment. In the entire history of women's sprinting, only 2 athletes have achieved this level of dominance at a World Championships, and one of them is a 24-year-old from Georgetown, South Carolina. The biggest lesson I got from this year is learning that if you lock in and dial in on things you say you want to accomplish, but also put the hard work in on top of that, the sky is the limit, she reflected afterward. But here's what truly sets Jefferson-Wooden apart from so many champions. She's not satisfied. She's not content. She's not ready to rest on her golden laurels. "There are so many things I've accomplished this year," she acknowledged. "But there's so many more things that I do want to accomplish." Her eyes are already fixed on the horizon. The 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. On home soil, in front of American crowds hungry for sprinting glory. The opportunity to achieve something unprecedented. Olympic gold medals to match her World Championship collection. It's going to be one for the books, she predicted about LA 2028. Having the Olympic Games back in the U.S. is going to bring on a lot of camaraderie. And what about the world record? That seemingly untouchable 10:49 seconds that Florence Griffith Joyner set way back in 1988? Jefferson-Wooden isn't chasing the clock. She's chasing perfection. The biggest thing for me if I want to break the world record? It's not going to be chasing the time, she explained. It's going to be focusing on me, focusing on my execution, listening to my coaches, and surrounding myself with people who are going to get me where I need to be. That's the mindset of a generational talent. That's the approach of someone who understands that true greatness isn't about desperation. It's about dedication, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to becoming the absolute best version of yourself. From a bone marrow donor at 17 to a 5-time world champion at 24. From a small-town girl in the South Carolina Low Country to the fastest woman currently walking the planet Earth. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden isn't just running races anymore. She's running toward immortality, and based on everything we've witnessed, absolutely nothing is going to stop her from getting there. The sprint queen has arrived. Long may she reign.